Welcome back to The Last Word. We got a great show for you, but before we get started, as always, we'd like for you to like, comment, and subscribe. So let's talk about it. Is it just load management or is it something bigger? Today we're diving into the Darryn Peterson problem, the projected top pick, the future lottery star, and now the guy that's pulling himself out of games. When a player with that kind of talent, that kind of height takes himself off the floor, it raises questions. What really is the problem here? Peterson taking himself out of games. Karen, what do you have to say about that? Is this sick? Like, what is this? A 18, 19-year-old, fully healthy, pulling himself out of games, citing cramps, citing, I don't know, stomach pains. What is this?
This is a great time for college athletes, or at least high-end college athletes, right? You're able to obtain paychecks, seven-figure paychecks, and now you see the situation with Peterson here. Dictate how your usage will go about in games. Literally to the minute. This guy is playing the first half of games and deciding to check out. And dictating when to check out of games. And hey, more power to him that he can do this. Will it hurt his draft stock? Will it hurt his appeal to certain franchises? At this point, you look at it and you understand, being a high pick, you're going to end up with one of these bottom end teams unless something happens in the draft. You're going to end up with a perennial loser, most likely.
Wow.
So if you could maybe dissuade a team picking you that you prefer to go to, why not try it?
Well, you know, a lot of critics are citing that this NIL money is causing these players to lose their focus on basketball. Now, they're making these millions of dollars, young, they pretty much have the world at their fingertips. Could that be a big distraction and possibly cost a lot of these young guys their future? Because, listen, if they don't make the right decisions now, they probably won't reach the full potential.
But the truth is, as you saw on display out the media in the last week or two, it's fair game on college players now. You're getting paid like a professional. The media on the large scope is going to start to treat you in that fashion, or has started treating you in that fashion, especially if you're a name, a recognizable name, you're going to get called out. We've seen, whether it was a few days ago, Stephen A. absolutely blasting Peterson. And years ago, that would never have happened, right? Because of the protection of not being paid. But now, as a collegiate professional, you're fair game, and you're gonna have to move also in a certain fashion to avoid maybe bring yourself to the forefront of these conversations on the national stage.
These young guys practicing these bad habits at a very young age, I think it sets a precedence of what's to come for the future. If loan management,
it's not a lot of guys, right? What
I mean,
people are shying away, or at least starting to float out the idea of shying away from Peterson as the number one pick, and looking at it like Benta because of how professional he is, how dedicated he is, how much of a force, and again, he has all the measurables and the game to clearly go number one. So it is going to come down to make right. And so often in the league, this separates guys, right? A lot of guys in the league have talent, right? But the intangibles, that everyone always will say, and the unmeasurables is what make a difference. That guy going to be willing to go into the gym before, after, for hours, first guy in, last guy out. Not every guy's built like that. A lot of guys understand, hey, I have this skill set, I have this size, this is just a job. Hey, I clock in at leave at 5 and I'm giving you nothing more.
I want to throw a curveball in this whole situation here. Okay.
All right, I'm in.
Let's just think for 1 minute. If you are a top player, right? Think about this. And we've talked earlier in previous shows about if a player goes to the wrong situation. You remember we're talking about Sam Darnold. You could end up possibly ruining your career. Bad franchisers are known to ruin careers. What if Peterson is ahead of the game? And he's saying to himself, like, you know what? They already see the talent, so they know I can play basketball. But let me take myself out the top 5 lottery pick because those are the 5 worst teams.
He's not dropping out of the top 5. He's not dropping the top 5.
You never know.
The lowest he could self-sabotage to is number 4. Because I could see someone looking at Wilson out of North Carolina and saying, oh man, this guy's 6'10", has the handles, the Garnett comparisons. You know, if you squint your eyes the right direction, you could say, oh, this might be the next KG. I could see a team maybe saying, okay, we could take this guy ahead of Peterson, but bottom could potentially.
Listen, we got AJ out of BYU, you got Cameron Boozer out of Duke, you got Caleb Wilson out of North Carolina, you got Nate out of Tennessee. You got a lot of promising players that could show they could be top 5 picks. I'm just saying, like, think about it. Load management at the age of 18.
But, hey, let me put you on pause for a second, because just think of the reality of the Indiana Pacers trade, right? What they did with the LA Clippers. They protected the pick was protected from 1 to 4, right? And then from 10 to whatever in the back. Why is that? They protected 1 to 4 because there's a clear hierarchy in this draft of 4 guys that they did not want to potentially miss out on. So we know right away. The league
was before the season. Now that the season
it wasn't. What are you talking about? This is at the trade line. The Indiana Pacers trade. They traded their first round pick. And it was protected from 1 to 4, and then from 10 to back.
Okay.
Because there's a clear hierarchy of 4 extremely talented guys, and Peterson is one of the 4.
Okay. So you're saying, okay, fine. Top 4 Indiana Pacers. We know, we just saw Indiana Pacers go to the finals the year before, right? Peterson is looking to become the number 1 pick, which means you're looking at possibly going to the Brooklyn Nets, the Washington Wizards, or Sacramento Kings, the New Orleans Pelicans, the Utah Jazz.
But remember, New Orleans pick goes to Atlanta.
I'm just saying, these are picks that Peterson's probably saying to himself, ain't no way I ain't playing there, no man, no way. So he's probably saying, let me tarnish my name a little bit. Let me get the outlets, Stephen A's and the Shannon Sharps and all these media outlets to talk down.
He's not falling out of 4. I'm sure. You know what?
Okay, fine. Even if you say 4. Even if you say 4.
That possibility. But only when the lottery, the draft lottery is set. I can, and he's played his way maybe out of being number 1. So now you have maybe a little flexibility of, hey, you know what? This team sucks at number 2. Hey, I won't come. I don't want to play for your team. Maybe he starts that. Hey, Indiana fall in that top 4. Indiana would be a great place to fall. We have potential. I'm gonna go there, play with Halliburton. I'm gonna play with Siakam and things.
Make a push to the finals.
That team could be in the NBA finals with you as a rookie.
And then they just pick up another big man. Who did they just pick up? What big man did they just pick up? Indiana.
Zubac. They pick up Zubac, right?
That would be a big team.
So you're looking at Zubac, Siakam, Halliburton, if
So
Peter
I'm
fell
just
there,
saying,
hey,
don't throw it out the window that he's
so there'll
not
be some good
self-tarnishing
spots.
his name. That's all I'm saying.
And,
He could be
and let's not
self-tarnishing
forget,
his name.
oh, maybe he is to potentially give himself some leeway in maneuverability, right? Because if you show the clear number one pick, there's movement available to you, right? Taking you number one is the end of the story. But it's again, it's still the reality is he may just be hurt. He may be if we look on the other side of the story, we might be looking at a guy who's playing through some things, who's continuing to come back from injuries and try to battle it out and play.
I
To
don't
me,
want to hear about that.
March
No.
Madness is gonna would you not say March Madness is gonna tell us the story? March
No,
Madness is the big make or break.
Because
If he's pulling any of this BS in March Madness, we know this guy the next Ben Simmons. We know he's Zach LaVine in waiting.
here's what you have to understand. He's already proven that it's not about winning. It's about the money, and it's about making sure that he's positioning himself in the right place so that he can get drafted to the right place. He probably has a smart agent that's saying, hey man, you can't go to certain franchises. Let's destroy our draft odds by pulling yourself out the games. You got cramps, you got this and that. March Madness is gonna come. You never know. You think it's about winning for him at that point? You think it's about winning?
But it's still so hard at this point to do any of that maneuvering because the lottery is not set. And again,
it's just hard to imagine that someone would do that, but it's possible. It's possible. Like,
anything is possible.
Put
right?
it this way, like Cameron Boozer, great player, top 2, top 3 player in the United States. Personally, I don't see him being a superstar in the league. Do you? But I see Peterson being a person that you can hand over a franchise to and say lead the way. I don't see Boozer being that.
You think so?
What?
You think Peterson could again? If his mentality is truly if the narrative is true, that he is a guy that's willing to just cut in the middle of the games.
No. I'm talking about talent. I'm talking about talent-wise. He has a talent to lead a franchise. I'm not talking about that with low management.
Talent-wise, I look at his talent and I can say this is Zach. He's Zach LaVine level talent. Like
who?
What does he mean?
Who? LaVine?
Zach LaVine. You heard me.
Peterson plays a little more defense.
But hey, if you're not interested in winning,
a lot less minutes, but
if you're not interested in winning, it's your defense disappear very quickly.
Exactly.
But hey, you asked me the question about Boozer. Boozer, why could Boozer not be a Shingun or in that world of a guy who not necessarily a defense present, but a guy who offensively you can give the ball to, he can create, can make stretch the court. In this league of so few interior presence of interior big men, I clearly 20 years ago I would have said Boozer, very hard for him probably a start. In this currently, yeah, why not?
Well, big aspirations for the Boozer. And I just don't see him. Like, I see, all right, Zach Edey had more upside to him than Boozer.
What?
Edey, the 2-time player of the college player of the year.
Get out of here.
What are you talking about?
Get
7'2"
Get out of
Edey,
here.
defensive, offensive guru? Are you kidding me?
Come on. We from day one, Zach Edey have a tough time making it through NBA career. It was just a matter of how many years he'd get in. That size, that lack of lateral quickness, that his body you knew for sure was break down for who knows how long you would get out of this guy. And that was written on the wall. Lack of athleticism, I think people potentially hope that he could work out for a portion or a period of time.
No.
But don't forget he was drafted. There was a lot of talk about his lack of foot speed and his ability even to stay on the NBA court, especially in the modern NBA. So don't give me that him a higher ceiling than Boozer. You're crazy.
I don't know, man.
You are. You
I
suffer that.
don't. He was the college player of the year coming into the NBA.
Yes,
That's
he
all
was a
I'm saying.
college player of the year. Yeah,
That's all.
yeah,
Okay. That's
and
all.
a great college player.
Well, you
But
discredited everything he
he
did.
did not project out to be an NBA star, nothing like that. Role
Well,
player at hopefully he can be the court.
well, I remember you talking a whole lot about Purdue back in the day. So obviously you changed your
Oh
song and dance
boy.
right now for some
Oh
reason.
boy.
But it seems like
Yeah.
that's been your MO for the last couple of years. But we're not
Don't,
going to talk about
don't
that.
try. You just literally out of your mouth said that Zach Edey had better potential.
Hey, I'm just saying what is on paper.
Don't even try
Zach
that. Don't try
Edey
to be slick.
was the college player of the year. That's all I'm saying. Boozer has yet to achieve that feat. And right
Boozer
now,
will be, and he will be.
you think he's going to win it this year? Possibly. We'll see.